Writing systems of linear inequalities. So last unit we wrote systems of equations. Now we're going to write systems of inequalities. So a lot of the keywords you might see from last time, but there's a new addition to the fact that we're dealing with inequalities, and that's how you would interpret the greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to signs. So I'll just touch base on those. So the description or word problem would say the phrasing greater than or equal to, or at least. And when it uses that phrasing, you're going to use greater than or equal to signs. If it says less than or equal to, or no more than, you're going to use the less than or equal to sign. If it says greater than or more than, use the greater than sign. And lastly, if it says less than, just use the less than sign. But don't forget the other phrase keywords from, again, equations. So it'll show you to how you should set it up as well. So let's practice writing an inequality. The first one reads, Keith has $500 in a savings account at the beginning of the summer. He wants to have at least $200 in the account by the end of the summer. He withdraws or takes out $25 a week for his cell phone bill. So he wants to have at least $200. So that means he could have $200 or more. So again, at least means we're going to use the greater than or equal to sign. And he wants at least $200 in his account. So again, he can have more than 200 or equal to 200, but he doesn't want less than that. Make sense? So he starts off with $500, and then he's withdrawing, he's taking away $25 a week. So that's minus 25 times each week. So this inequality would be the inequality for this scenario. 500 minus 25W, W representing the week number. So like week 1, week 2, so you would just change the number there to tell you how much is left in the account. Number 2, yellow cab taxi charges $1.75 flat rate. In addition, it charges 65 cents per mile. Jessica has no more than $10 to spend on a ride. So it uses the phrasing no more, which means she can spend less than 10 or exactly 10, but she can't go over. So that means we're going to use less than or equal to. And again, she can't go over $10. Um, we need a variable to represent miles, so let's go with M. Again, it's for miles. So again, always establish your variables up front so you don't forget what they represent. So now I know it's $1.75 no matter what. Even if I don't go anywhere in the cab, if I just sit still, I'm going to be paying $1.75 plus it says in addition. In addition means literally addition plus 0.65 per mile. Per mile means to multiply that fee with mileage or number of miles. So here's the inequality for this scenario. 1.75 plus 0.65 m less than or equal to 10. So on the previous page, those were just generic or general inequalities. Now we're going to practice writing a system of inequalities. Again, a system is nothing more than two or more inequalities. Number 3, you can work a total of no more than 41 hours each week at your two jobs. House cleaning pays $5 per hour. Your sales job pays $8 per hour. You need to earn at least $254 each week to pay your bills. Write a system of inequalities that shows the various numbers of hours you can work at each job. So let's use H to represent the house cleaning job. And we're going to use S to represent the sales job. And it's for hours, not the cost. Okay, so based on the first sentence, it says you can work no more than 41 hours each week at both jobs. So no more means you can work less than or equal to, but you can't do more than it. So we're going to use less than or equal to and 41. And then we said H was house cleaning and S was sales. So we would say H plus S. The hours of house cleaning plus the hours of sales has to be less than or equal to 41. So that's the first inequality of our system. The second inequality look at comes from the next sentence. You need to earn at least $254. So at least means I can earn $254 or more. So I'm going to use greater than or equal to 254 for this scenario. And now I need, since it's how much I earn, I need to take into consideration how much do I get paid an hour at each job. So house cleaning pays $5, so I would say 5 times H plus sales is $8 an hour, so that would be 8S. So here's our two equations, and again, it requires two or more equations to write a system. So H plus S less than or equal to 41 is the first one, and then 5H plus 8S is greater than or equal to 254 is the second. All right, for number 4, it says fuel X costs $2 per gallon and fuel Y costs $3 per gallon. You have at most $18 to spend on fuel. So at most means I can spend less than or up at least 8, or I can spend less than or equal to $18. So I'm going to use less than or equal to again and 18. Now, oh, I got to establish my variables, sorry. So X represents fuel X and Y represents fuel Y. So I know that it's $2 per gallon for fuel X. So I would say 2X plus 3Y because it's $3 per gallon for fuel Y. Now you might be looking at this like there's not enough information to write another equation. Well, technically there's some hidden information that you know. Since X represents fuel, or gallons of fuel, I should say actually, we know that the gallons cannot be negative. Gallons has to be positive or at least zero. So for fuel X, it has to be greater than or equal to zero. And the same thing for fuel Y. It has to be greater than or equal to zero. So now I have three inequalities in this situation. So I still have a system. All right, the last one we'll do together is number 5. Number 5 says a salad contains ham and chicken. There are at most 6 pounds of ham and chicken in the salad. So I'm going to use H for ham, or pounds of ham, and I'm going to use C for chicken, or pounds of chicken. So we know they're at most. At most means less than or equal to. And we're less than or equal to 6. So together combined, the pounds of ham and the pounds of chicken is 6. So H plus C has to be less than or equal to 6. And again, this situation looks like there's no other information here, but it's hidden. It's not directly told to you. But you should have some logical sense to know that pounds cannot be negative. So for pounds of ham, it has to be greater than or equal to 0. And then for pounds of chicken, it also has to be greater than or equal to 0. So I have 3 constraints or 3 inequalities in this system. Please work on 6 and 7 on your own. Make sure to take a picture when you're finished.